So, folks, picture the scene for me, will you? It is the year 1975. Jaws is sweeping the nation. It is sweeping the world. Everyone is just loving it. It's going swimmingly. Paramount's looking at that like, maybe we should get in on that action. How are we going to do that? How are we, Paramount, going to get in on that action? Somebody trademarked sharks in a movie. What if we did something different? What if we made a movie about an orca? And that's what we're talking about today. Before we even talk about Jaws, we're talking about Orca. Orca, the killer whale. Orca. We're talking Orca. Full disclosure, folks. Hadn't seen this movie before. Barely knew it existed. Came across it one time on the Twitter feed. And I'm like, putting a notebook on that. I want to talk about that later because I like a good animal movie. I love a good animal movie. I freaking love Orca. This movie, mind-blowingly good. Every single aspect of this film was so sweet, was so cool. It is so simple and silly and a perfect story. So let's dive into that story because it is insanity what this movie actually is. We were in like some weird fisherman town. Everyone's just dressed up in big rubber boots and big bulky sweaters and hats, looking like they're living on a wharf. I love that. Some newcomers come to town, a boat with a massive crew of some cool people. An old guy, Bo Derek, somebody that looks like a knockoff Richard Dreyfuss, and then the lead of our film, Richard Harris, who plays Captain Nolan. They come looking to hunt sharks, find out there's orcas nearby, and go, maybe we should catch an orca. That might be worth a lot. So what you're thinking? Okay, so the orca's going to get mad because it's defending its territory? No, that is not what happens in this movie. What happens in this movie is insanity. They capture an orca, they capture the wife of an orca husband, and they kill the female orca who is pregnant with a baby. The baby falls out of the woman orca while it's on the boat. The fetus falls onto the boat. They think it's a superstition to have a whale fetus on the boat, hose it off, and the husband's like, what the fuck just happened? You just ruined my life. So you know what happens next in this movie? The orca terrorizes this guy. The orca is the hero terrorizing the villain, Captain Nolan. What is going on? I cannot explain it to you, but it works perfectly. We're just watching an orca revenge story. It is a little bit of Jaws because we have practical and like just stupid aesthetics and effects for the actual orca. Sometimes you see a fin appear out of the water and we shoot it with a harpoon. Sometimes it's just like a big bulbous eye of an actual whale we filmed up close. And you know it's important, and there's the duality of man between the orca and Captain Nolan because half the time we're looking at the reflection of the other character in the eye of the other character. There are distinctive shots where we're looking at the orca's eye, there's Captain Nolan. We're looking at Captain Nolan's eye, there's the orca. Do you get it? Is it, Ahab and the white whale enough for you? It's kind of got that vibe of Moby Dick, just hunting that whale you'll never catch. But what if the whale was hunting you? What if it came to your wharf in your fisherman town and broke everybody's boat? So the entire town rallies behind the idea of you, this lone Irish guy who's getting half his crew killed, getting Bo Derek's arm bitten off, to go on the water and hunt a whale that's trying to kill you because it's destroying the town and it's taunting you from a dock. And I'm like, what are we doing? This whale looks really good. There are moments where we're looking at the whale and it's just a whale they have footage of, and then it's like a practical effect. We see a big open mouth with a sharp set of human-looking teeth, and it's just taunting this guy. And I'm like, what are we doing? And that's my favorite type of movie. I like an older gentleman actor who is doing something stupid that is just having a crisis of his identity. He gets the old man and his crew killed. He goes to church. He's like, Father, what am I doing? Then the town's like, dude, if you do not fix this whale problem, we're going to kill you. Because the whale, once they drop off the dead female whale's body back into the ocean, the orca husband pushes the corpse onto land as a warning. And I'm like, what is going on in this movie? This is so perfect. And it's 90 minutes? It's a 90-minute movie about a revenge whale story? I'm obsessed. Everything about this works for me. I love the aesthetic. Everybody is in big, stupid, bulky clothes. There is a sequence where Richard Harris is wearing bright, almost neon denim overalls with a big white sweater. And I'm like, that is an aesthetic choice that I want to wear today because it looks great. Everybody looks like they're weathered by the sea. Everyone looks angry. We're on practical locations for the water. We're actually filming on the ocean and it looks really good. And it's unbelievable that this is working so well. The whale terrorizes this village. It destroys boats, so the fishermen, it's a fishing community, they can't get their money. This orca is essentially bankrupting this town. And on top of that, it destroys a fucking house. This orca finds a house that, like, this crew is staying at the side of the village and breaks it, puts it to the water, and bites a leg off of someone. And I'm like, what is going on? This is insanity. It's just taking that one scene from Jaws where you see Quinn falling down the side of the boat, getting eaten by the shark, and doing it every 10 minutes. Here's just the head of an orca poking out of the bottom of a boat, the bottom of the floor, the bottom of an iceberg. Oh my God, we go to icebergs in this movie because here's what happens. We lose a bunch of the crew. Almost everybody dies. So Nolan's like, I gotta save everybody in this town and I gotta lure the orca to the North Pole, ? He just goes north until they hit icebergs and then he fights it on an iceberg. Why? What is the meaning of that, dude? What are you doing? It is so cool, so amazing. And we have so many great shots in that moment too. We actually shoot underneath the iceberg that he's standing on and we see his foot walking atop of that. Why, man? Why are you doing that? It doesn't have to look this good. But it does. And then it ends with him on a small piece of ice. The orca's at the bottom of it, tipping it over, so he's sliding down with a shotgun in his hand, trying to kill the orca. My God, this is a treat for the eyes. It's a treat for the soul. I have never been more happy in my life than I have seeing this movie. Unreal. Unreal what we are doing here. And I haven't even talked about my favorite character, the new love of my life, that is Rachel Bedford. She is like this marine biologist, scientist, genius, unspecified, just a beautiful woman who lives in this town, played by Charlotte Rampling, who is an actor I'm falling in love with now. She was in the most recent Dune movie as the old witch lady. And now here she is, just having an open book class where anybody can show up and be like, orcas are bad, this is why you shouldn't fuck with orcas. And then this guy fucks with an orca and she's like, I just told you not to do that. And then the entire movie she's like, you have to either fight it or kill yourself. And I'm like, this girl is so cool, so badass, has the weirdest Jeep I've ever seen a character drive. Why, in a town where everybody's wearing bulky fisherman gear, would you have a Jeep without a top or doors on it? I don't understand your process, Rachel, but I'm here for it and I love you. I will follow you to the ends of the earth because you're the only one that survives. Don't know why. It's because you're a girl and the whale's like, you did nothing wrong. Such a weird thing to happen. Like, they get a small crew to go on this boat. They head up to the Arctic. There's a Native American character who is semi-stereotyped, but it's in a more modern sense. Like, he has more agency than you would have seen from that time. He gets crushed by falling ice, and then, like, the whale eats everybody else. And she's just there and gets saved by a helicopter. What are we doing? It's just working so well. And it's just like, you feel the crisis energy coming through because Richard Harris's character lost his wife to a drunk driver. And he says in the movie, I am the whale's drunk driver. And I'm like, oh my God, why are you making it so personal? Is this like just a weird telling of Moby Dick and the Old Man in the Sea? Why are we doing that? This is just supposed to be a weird movie, but the whale looks awesome. It's threatening. It's tough. It has POV shots in this movie where we're following the whale's perspective. There is real whales in this movie, real orcas we are seeing, and this whole town is just afraid of it. And everything about that is the coolest shit you have ever seen in your life. This is unlike any other movie. Even like Jaws. Jaws has its good stuff going for it. I love Jaws. I'm a Jaws boy. Num num num. Put a shark in my belly. I love it. But something about Orca just has insane vibes. And I love that. I love a man having a huge crisis. I love a creepy animal trying to kill people. I love a whole town that's just like, this is wrong. You're a piece of shit, Nolan. Fix this problem. I love that. They refuse to give him gas because he's not helping the whale situation. And then it's a killer orca. I mean, they say like they're smart beings. They mate for life. They'll fuck you up. It's an orca. Don't mess with it. And he does. And he learns his lesson. And it eats him. And it eats him on an iceberg. How am I not supposed to be obsessed with this movie? I ask you. How am I, a normal human being, not supposed to see this whale poking through the floorboards of a house, eating a girl's leg, Bo Derek, by the way, and not be like, yep, this is perfect. It's insane. It's got everything you want in a movie. Hot people having a crisis, stupidest outfits you've ever seen, big whales. It's got Rachel Bedford, Charlotte Rampling, my favorite woman now. Absolutely love her. Just a cool, cool person. It's amazing. It's amazing. Everything about this movie just feels so insane, and it comes together in a beautiful bow. We're on real water. We have real whales. What aren't we doing in this film? Well written, well executed on every level. I love it. I love every second of this thing. I am so jazzed for this stupid movie. It makes me happy. And that is the best thing I could say about a movie, is just, what if a whale pissed you off so much you sailed across the ocean and then it still killed you? What is not to love about that? It's Orca. It's Orca. It is Orca, and it is incredible. And you need to watch it, because if you are a fan of Jaws, this is just Jaws for simpler, crazier people. Jaws is not subtle. This one isn't either, but this subtlety is just so tremendously awkward and weird and dumb little outfits. I love it. We don't have leading men like Richard Harris today. Look at this goofy little shorts he's wearing. What a crazy bloke. Look at that hair. Look at this freaking orca. Just look at the orca. I love the orca. It flips him with its tail. That's so cool. Perfect movie. Thank you guys so much for watching this rendition of Dynamic Tales. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.